Just about any compact hatchback these days provides pretty good versatility as well as ample feature content. But finding a vehicle that allows you to have some fun at the same time is getting a little harder to find though. And the 2015 Hyundai Veloster would seem to be a pretty good choice because it's pretty uniquely styled and is available with a strong turbocharged engine. And its untraditional 3-door setup allows for easier access to the back seat. But let's go ahead and check out this 2015 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. Now our Veloster we have here is pretty well equipped. It comes with leather seats, a 7-inch multimedia display, as well as heated front seats and Bluetooth phone and audio connectivity. Now as far as styling goes on the vehicle, I quite like the styling a lot. It's very unique and distinctive. You have these pretty nice looking projector headlights with the LED daytime running lights. It also kind of looks like it's angry at you. And then I just think it's a very unique looking vehicle overall, especially with the 3-door setup it has. Now here goes the key fob for the Veloster. Pretty nice, high quality looking key fob overall. You do have your lock, unlock to release your trunk, and then your panic button. Now it is a white exterior color with smart key access on the driver's door and front passenger door. Also does have a two-toned leather interior. And like I said, you do have the turbo logo embroidered onto the seats. Manual driver's seat adjustments with manual recline, but you do have power lumbar. Now stepping on inside of the Veloster, fairly low step-in height here. But you're greeted with an okay cabin design. It's getting a little dated. But it's decently stylish, but it's just not the most stylish I've seen. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button start. Pretty unique place to put the push button start. Usually it's right here. But for some reason Hyundai decided to put it right here. And what you just heard was a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now you do have a full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic. Now your base gearbox is going to be a 6-speed manual. You also do have manual shiftability. And you have paddle shifters too. E-brake is located right there. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera. No trajectory though, but you do have guidance lines. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights. You also do have fogs and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. Halogen projector beam headlights with your LED daytime running lights and halogen fog lights too. Now under the hood here, like I said, you'll find a 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged powertrain producing 201 horses at 6,000 RPM and 195 pound-feet of torque at 1750 RPM, with EPA estimates being 24 in the city and 31 on the highway, running on regular unleaded fuel. Now, if you do get the Veloster, I definitely recommend going with this powertrain, because if you do get the base engine, which is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder, it is a very weak base engine. Provides very mediocre acceleration. But however, this 1.6 liter 4-cylinder with the turbocharger definitely does the job well. You also do have these pretty good looking 18-inch alloy wheels. Now there isn't really any main direct vehicles that the Veloster competes with, but some vehicles to consider include the Ford Focus hatchback, as well as the Ford Focus ST and the Subaru Impreza hatchback. But however, the Veloster is in a class of its own, kinda, due to its 3-door setup. Now pricing of the Veloster starts at the base trim, which starts at $18,000. Then you have the Turbo R-Spec model, which starts at $21,600. And then the Turbo model, like how we have here, starts at $22,600. You have LED tail lamps, rear reflectors, rear window wiper with the rear window defroster, and you also do have dual exhaust tips. And a little rear spoiler at the top too. Like I said, EPA estimates are 24 in the city, 31 on the highway, 27 combined. Total vehicle price for this particular one is $24,985. Nice stitching, nice soft touch armrests, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, all of your basic power necessities. And I don't think I've ever seen this before on a vehicle where there's only one power window for the rear. Pretty interesting there. Now let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Has some decent grunt to it. Now as far as build quality and materials go inside of the Veloster here, it's not the best I've seen. You have hard touch plastics up here on the dashboard, and then up here on the upper door panel is also this really hard touch plastic. On the mid door panel is at least soft touch, and then on the armrests, which are the most important places, as well as on the center console armrest is nice soft touch, but on the dashboard it's all hard touch. Now as far as build quality goes, there's a little bit of panel gaps here. It's not the best I've seen in terms of build quality. It can be a little bit better, but overall materials and build quality can be better in the Veloster here. Now down here is where you will find your two 12-volt power outlets, your auxiliary input, and your USB port. You also do have a storage compartment down there too. You have your cup holders right there as well. It's your center console. It's pretty deep, I have to say. Decent amount of storage. Pretty surprised. Coming up here, you have your auto-dimming rearview mirror with SOS Safety Connect and Hyundai Blue Link. You also do have a sunglass container. And then your interior illumination lighting. Now as far as the headliner goes, this is a really unique headliner design here, and it kind of feels cheap, kind of feels like the cardboard. Not the best headliner I've seen. Now as far as the steering wheel design goes of the Veloster, I like it. It's pretty high quality and stylish looking. Now you do have your Bluetooth phone controls down here, and then your steering wheel mounted audio controls, and then right there is where you will find your cruise control buttons. You also do have intermittent windshield wipers as well. Down there you have your manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel, your active eco button for saving fuel, and then your gauge brightness is also right there too. Now coming to your AC controls, Hyundai usually likes to put a stylish design to their AC controls and their heater controls. But you do have your fan speeds right here, and then your temperatures. It's not the most simple design, And you do have your zones right here, and then your recycling mode, and then your front window defroster, rear window defroster. And then, like I said, you also do have heated front seats for the driver and passenger, 2-staged. And then here's your traction control off button. Now coming to the main head unit here, you have Hyundai's BlueLink system. You do have AM, FM, and XM satellite radio for your media sources, as well as Bluetooth streaming audio, and your optical disk drive, and then of course your USB and then your auxiliary input. Now I do love the responsiveness of the touchscreen. The graphics and the rendering are also pretty good too. Coming to phone, you have an integrated dial pad. Then you can store your contacts on here. Then you have your connections right there. And then coming to info, you have XM data, which you can view stocks, sports, and weather. Then you have your software info of the infotainment system. You also do have your exterior temperature readout down here, as well as your digital clock. Then you also do have your eco driving information, gives you your MPG. Then it also has the MPG community average. Pretty interesting there. But overall, I really do love Hyundai's BlueLink system. I love the rendering and the graphics of it, as well as the responsiveness and how big the buttons are too. Now as far as seating comfort goes in the Veloster, it is okay. However, the seats are pretty firm. The side bolstering is okay though, and the thigh support can be a lot better. I definitely wouldn't take this vehicle on a long road trip. Now as far as visibility goes, rearward visibility is very poor. You have a huge, massive blind spot back there. However, outward visibility is okay. And then the A-pillar isn't too thick. Now, some notable features of the Veloster do include a panoramic sunroof, as well as active sound design feature that channels exhaust sounds through the stereo speakers. Very unique feature there, as well as a B&M sport shifter and a sport tuned suspension and steering. Now the Veloster just isn't a sporty hatchback here, even though it has some pretty daring looks. Now the base model is just very slow, especially when equipped with the automated manual transmission. Acceleration is definitely better on this turbo model we have here, but its performance is off pace of hot hatches like the Focus ST as well as the Volkswagen GTI. Now for city commutes, both the base and turbo Veloster feel pretty decently nimble, but if you start pushing the car harder on twisty back roads, disappointment sets in as the Veloster just isn't as sharp or communicative as most competitors. And it's not a very comfortable car either. If you drive on cracked streets with lots of potholes, the suspension will be easily upset by bumps and ruts. Now the harsh ride in the turbo and R-Spec models might be acceptable if the Veloster was a little bit more fun, but that's not an area where this hatchback really excels. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut the vehicle down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the car. Now these rear seats do fold down to maximize cargo space. You'll find an okay amount of cargo space, but definitely not the best. Now here goes your 3-door setup. And to be honest, access is pretty limited when getting into the rear seats of the Veloster. They do have a nice soft touch armrest with nice stitching, however, hard touch on upper door panel and mid door panel too. Now along with that poor limited access also comes pretty poor headroom as well as legroom too. I'm about 5'11", and my head is touching the ceiling here. And the legroom definitely isn't all that great here. It's very cramped. You have a single map pocket and cup holders. Now if you're definitely looking for a hot hatch with a little bit more legroom, definitely go with the Volkswagen GTI or the Subaru Impreza hatchback. Now here's how you fold down the rear seats. Just pull this up, and then the seats come right down. Easy as that. Full manual passenger seat. Here's your glove box. Nice and damp, at least. So even though the 2015 Hyundai Veloster's looks aren't backed up by sporty driving characteristics, and its ride can be a little uncomfortable at times, it's still a pretty good choice for those who want a pretty fuel-efficient hatchback with pretty distinctive styling as well as ample feature content. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.